can stand right here and talk all night if you want. I ain't got no place to be, no one's waiting for me. I won't lie, I'm into you. Got like a million ideas what we could do. Cause I'm not gonna let you slip away, I won't waste this. There's something about the way you fix your eyes on me. I can't help myself, fall in love, I go crazy. What you wanna do now? Should we head back to my place? When you give me that smile, I think my heart's turning up the pace. I don't care about what we do if I get to be with you. What you wanna do now? What's to be afraid of when we're young, stupid, and in love? When you talk or listen close, there's just something about your voice. I think that every word you say to me is like poetry. I just want you for my own. It's really easy to tell that you're the best girl I've ever known. I'm not gonna waste this. What you wanna do now? Should we head back to my place? When you give me that smile, I think my heart's turning up the pace. I don't care about what we do if I get to be with you. What you wanna do now? What's to be afraid of when we're young, stupid, and in love? Fix your eyes on me. I can't help myself, fall in love, I go crazy. What you wanna do now? Should we head back to my place? When you give me that smile, I think my heart's turning up the pace. I don't care about what we do if I get to be with you. What you wanna do now? What's to be afraid of when we're young, stupid, and in love?
If you were part of my childhood and you were watching television in Indiana on a little 27-inch tube TV in the basement of a tri-level in Warsaw, Indiana, you would have often heard a song that was on a commercial that said this: "There's more than corn in Indiana." And you'd hear this song, and it was about a place called Indiana Beach. And the theme of the song was, hey, there is something that is more. There is something that's different than how you expected it, and you can do it differently. And you can have places like Indiana Beach where you can have a roller coaster on beautiful Lake Monticello, Indiana, but you could do payments a little differently too. You may do payments as a sales partner, as an ISO, as an ISV, or you may be like myself and be a W-2 employee of a payments provider like PayProTec, or you can do many of those and wear different hats as you go along the journey. Today, we're going to see and meet someone that also has a lot of corn in their life because they're from Iowa, but also has worn many different hats. And what you see is not always what you get. Sometimes it's a little bit more complicated. Maybe they've been a sales partner. Now they're working as a POS Pro. And Matt Proctor, this is going to be a good introduction that I was really proud of. What do you think about this introduction today?
I that was phenomenal. I love the song. You know, the Indiana Beach theme song. It's always a great one. And I love taking the kids to Indiana Beach right there on the lake. It's just beautiful. So I'm glad you said it. And the corn is a great transition. Carrie knows the cornfields just like we do.
Yep. So who are we meeting? Who's the POS Pro that we're meeting live on POS Uncensored today, Matt?
Yes, I am very excited today to introduce Carrie Miller from my team out of East Dubuque. Iowa or West Dubuque. I don't remember, Carrie, East or West, but Carrie's been with me now for over 3 years. Time is just flying by, and she works with a ton of you PayProTec partners out there. And we want to put a face to the name today so you guys could all get to know Carrie Miller more. Carrie, thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you.
Hi, thanks. So it's East Dubuque, Illinois, and Dubuque,
East.
Iowa.
That's right. You're right on the river. You're right on the river.
Yeah,
I'm in Iowa half the day, and then I'm driving to Illinois or whatever.
yeah. But yeah, you can go over one bridge and you can be in Illinois. You can go on the other bridge and be in Wisconsin, and it all comes from Iowa.
I'm really glad they don't have a toll on those bridges.
They used to. They used to.
So
Yeah, I can't drive to Louisville anymore without paying all these tolls.
well, you can get around it, but you have to drive way like south and come through the downtown.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it. They made it. Yeah, it's absolutely not worth it. All right. So Carrie, welcome to POS Uncensored. And I always like my first question to be, Carrie, you and I met in person twice now. We hung out in Albany and you came here in Indianapolis and we got to do a little bowling and do a little bluegrass music. That was fun. Tell us, we're sitting at the bluegrass. What's the name of the mousetrap? The mousetrap where we were. And if I was sitting across from you and I said, Carrie, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Just, who is Carrie Miller?
Well, I have been pretty much in every field that you can think of. Own my own business. My first job was when I was 14. I was a dishwasher in a restaurant, and then I have done waitressing or catering. I've done waitressing, bartending, everything you can think of in the bartending or in the restaurant business, basically. I'm a cosmetologist. I worked at a staffing company. I did POS processing, a little bit of everything.
So let's talk about your journey to payments. Most of us didn't at age 14 realize that there were these machines that were processing cards and people were making money off of it. How were you first introduced to the payments world and how the sales engine that we're all part of at PayProTec exists?
Well, initially I got into the payment side of it when I owned my own business and I got tired of being screwed over by the credit card processing companies. So I became my first customer. I started doing the processing. It took a couple of years to, kind of really figure it out and learn other things. In year 3, I had probably about 10 friends of mine signed up, and then I just decided to do that. And then I also, when I was looking for a merchant of mine for a point of sale system, I worked with Tim McCaffrey, and I was giving him crap. And I told him, when he was doing a demo, I'm like, well, you suck. I said, how can I do what you're doing? And he said, actually, we're hiring. So here I am.
Okay. So first of all, sorry, Tim, we didn't mean to throw you under the bus, but Matt.
Yeah, sorry, Tim, but I have a question for you, Carrie. So, I love your very diverse background. That's, one thing that really attracted me, to you and interviewing you. And I knew your name already before working with Tim. But I don't think I've ever asked this question to you before. What brought you to PayProTec or to a company of PayProTec? Is there a certain person that brought you, over to the PPT team, or how did you make that connection?
Yeah, so I was with a company and they weren't paying me my residuals, and it was just really shady. And then I think it was Adam that signed me up with PPT, and then he left. And then I got hooked up with Brian Linke. And in that transition, I really learned a lot and really kind of took off.
Nice. So that's important for everyone to know that's watching this right now, is that Carrie has been there. She's been in your shoes. She's learned. She's had to deal with Brian Linke and his amazing, funny personality.
and well, first of all, working with. I was trying to think, is there a more probably not polar opposites, but they're very going from Adam to Brian, and that's part of it. Is that
Adam Ackerman to Brian Linke, we have very big difference there.
It's having diverse personalities to be able to have relationships with different people, and not everybody clicks with every person. But Brian is a unique personality in our business. I don't know anyone like him. And that's why we do everything we possibly can to keep him from fully retiring and keep him inside our fold and have him part of our family. Carrie, you mentioned that about the frustration. One, there are a couple things I want. I'm going to start with the frustration of not getting paid. That was an interesting one. You're working for somebody else who's paid. How does being able to relate about making your money through residual, making your money through bonus, how does that help you be able to help our partners as a POS pro and learn a little bit about how, understanding where they're at and trying to get to that residual and get to that money? How does that affect how you work as a POS pro?
Well, I understand the importance of it, and I understand the importance of, knowing that their portfolio isn't always maintaining. Sometimes businesses close, they retire, just things happen, or they lose an account to someone else. So I understand the importance of really that partner relationship with the agents and with their merchants.
And then specifically talking about having sat on and trying to sell through a virtual demo and understanding the pain points there, what are some of the things that you have looked to improve on? Not saying you're not throwing Tim under the bus, but you put it out there. You can do it better. What are some of the things you've tried to make and do unique and special because you've had that experience of being on the other side of the camera, the other side of the demo screen, to be able to help our partners be successful at doing demos for their merchants?
Well, first of all, Tim is very good. We just have a really kind of unique relationship, and we banter quite a bit back and forth. So it was all fun and games. But yeah, so knowing to keep the merchants involved in the demo is really important, because when you see them falling asleep over there, or they're playing a game on their phone, or just not even really watching the demo, it's important to really kind of put that personal touch in there and just kind of keep talking with them, and trying to keep whoever, if I'm not doing the demo, whoever is doing the demo, to not kind of be scripted and kind of be more personal.
Absolutely. Yeah, so, you said that perfectly, Carrie. That's yes. Do we have scripts? Absolutely. Right. But I encourage, Carrie can attest this when she came on board. I encourage, everyone's different. Everyone on our team's different, and everyone has different, styles and personality to kind of customize that. And Carrie does a great job, depending on the industry, depending on the merchant, really engaging with them and customizing the demo for them. And it drives me nuts when we get our other point of sale providers on, and I can tell they're reading just out of a script. Pull my mohawk out.
Yeah, or talking about things that we know that they're not interested in or they're not going to use. And that's when we kind of start to lose them too, because if they're not going to do delivery, say, and you're talking about all the different delivery points, they don't care. They lose interest, and you lose them. You start losing them.
Yeah. Well, and
absolutely.
I mean, and there's I like that there can be scripts that like, this is a POS Uncensored is a very unscripted show. I occasionally have a note. I don't even have any notes today. I was going to make a joke about how I was reading from a script, but I'm not doing that. But there is benefit, and I'm going to throw this question at you, Matt. Why is it so important to have POS pros that have very a diversity of backgrounds, a diversity of experiences? Like Carrie, you own your own business. And I think she's the only one who's actually came to us having been a payments agent at that point. But everyone has a very diverse background from doing multiple different jobs. Why does that make them so valuable as a POS pro?
Yeah, great question. And yes, whenever we do hire, get flooded, with a decent amount of resumes, and there are very specific things I'm looking for. Definitely diversity is one thing. So Carrie is the only person on our team that had that background on the payment side, other than, Morgan or myself. But that saved us a lot of time, in the whole training process. And what really intrigued me about Carrie is that she did have her own business. Okay, so that's a huge point right there. She understood the salon space. She understood retail, as well as restaurants, where some on the team didn't have that much experience on the retail side of it. So that was kind of a huge thing, because I love how diverse our team is, and everyone has their own little specialties and their own little background. You get Tim talking about Mustangs or architecture, and he won't stop for an hour. But that's amazing. That's his background. And so, yeah, Carrie really, brings a lot to the table because, like me, she started working hard, at a young age and in a lot of different industries. So, and that helps our partners. I find that helps our partners more because Carrie's been in these people's shoes. She knows how to speak with them instead of just reading off a script.
Yep. Speaking of being off script, there's a question I like to ask, but it's in a different way this time. You've been with the POS Pros for 3 years now, so you've seen multiple POS systems being brought in. You have seen all kinds of new added features being brought in and added to these systems. What are some of the things that have changed for the either new POS or new features for existing POS that we represent for POS Pros? What are some of the ones that are most exciting to you that you're like, man, these were huge to be able to add, whether it's a POS or a feature to a POS?
Well, for the restaurant side of it, Quick has really stepped up to plate and jumped over it because they have added packages that are very appealing to merchants. And then they have the hardware versatility. They have all the features and functions that, a lot of merchants don't even know that they have, at their fingertips or even had a chance to use. And that will make their business easier. I think one of the exciting ones for me, though, was Greta, because Greta is for convenience stores, grocery stores, meat markets, and it kind of just filled in that gap, even, I guess, liquor stores as well. So it kind of filled in a big gap we have for convenience stores and grocery stores because it's got the true hardware and the true software. And then on top of that, it's going to have the reporting that they need because grocery store reporting is going to be different reporting than from a retail store.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well,
and this, well, this is for both of you, both of our POS Pros on here and POS Uncensored today. What do you think is the biggest obstacle that has been that you guys help overcome for the partners that are bringing the leads to POS Pros? What are things that you're able to solve for them instantaneously? What are the biggest things and the problems that they're going to have that they're not going to be able to do without you? What are some of those things that make working with the POS Pros special and solve problems for our PayProTec sales partners?
Yeah, Carrie, I'll go first and then have you take it over. I think one of the huge benefits of going through our office is being able to compete. Because, we're not a one-stop shop. We're not just out there slinging clovers, or pushing a harbor touchdown people's throats or SkyTab, whatever it might be. So that right there is such a huge objection that some people run up against is they walk in, they say, what are you selling? Or what, you can go in as a consultant because you have an entire team behind you and you can confidently say, we probably have 3 or 4 solutions I think could be a great fit for you. Can we get my point of sale team involved? So I think overcoming those initial objections, getting in front of the right people, because you have an entire division is one of our, great steps with the agents to help them go through. So that's one for me, Carrie. Now you're up.
Yeah. Well, I would agree with that. And I would also say, a lot of the agents want to try to know the systems like we know them. And I just tell them that that's not really important for them. What's really important, what they need to hone in on is letting their merchants know that they have a department like us, or they have a team that they can refer their merchant to, that we're going to do a discovery call and we're going to find out what it is that they need, because we do have Greta and we do have Corona and Retail Cloud and some of these other retail softwares, for example, but they all have a little different unique features that, one might not want or one needs. And so it's good just for us to go through our discovery calls and, help them put them with the right system. And it's also going to guarantee them longevity customer relationship, because they're put with a POS that's not, just what they have, like Matt was saying, just what we're selling right now. It's not that. It's what meets their needs, not what meets ours.
Yeah, it's getting them a better ROI.
Yeah.
The return on investment. And yeah, just making that contact. And we do a training for them. That's another big thing too. Is sometimes the agents just want to know. what's out there. And like Carrie said, we're not training them for months and months so that they know every little in and out of 15 different softwares, but we're giving them that overview so they feel more comfortable knowing that we have 6 restaurant systems and 4 or 5 retail and a salon software, donation software. So does that sort of answer your question, Nate? I know we were both kind of.
No, that was perfect. And what I love about this is it's not one size fits all. And part of it is just like you have a huge diversity within all the POS pros, as we've been meeting all of. I think we have one more POS pros. We're going through this series to meet, but you have diversity in what experiences, diversity in how they look at life, diversity in how they're how they what do I want to say? I don't even know. They're all unique people and different, and so they serve different people. And that's the same thing for our partners. Each one wants to be treated as an individual, as a unique individual of how they want to do it. And we come alongside and help in different ways. Sometimes it's more logistics, sometimes it's more sales, and then sometimes it changes over time. I watch it, as they get more comfortable. And we like you just mentioned, Carrie, you mentioned Quick. We have a lot of partners that are basically becoming quick experts because they get so excited about it, and they have a couple of success stories, and now they're jumping all in, and they're talking to Rain and others more than because they jump in and become. But that happens because the POS Pros is that gateway. And when there's the next 3 or 4 POS that come along in the next couple of years that are the right fits for different things, like a Greta that's really new, that is a way that this team comes together. Matt, I'm going to ask you, what is something that Carrie does that sets her apart among the POS Pros team?
Put me on the spot here, huh?
Well, it's coming the other way, Carrie, by the way, just so you know.
So one thing that I absolutely love about Carrie is her personality, and her ability to stay positive, even when life kicks us down. Carrie and I have had lots of ups and downs, ourselves, and we can relate on that. But she keeps that positive outlook with the team when we're talking. We do IMs, things like that. Always telling jokes, great sense of humor, and that really sets her apart. She's quick to help out anyone on the team, if they need anything or to jump into a demo. She's right there as an amazing team player, and that really sets her apart. And and she gets good compliments from the agents. She's getting more and more requests now than she ever has, where people that maybe are brand new at PPT, like our guy Johnny, and now he's starting to crank some out, and he's just, where's Carrie, I need her. And so that really is setting her apart. All
right. And I promised it would come the other way, Carrie. So tell us, what's it like truly working with our Mohawked friend who, is going through a midlife crisis with his hair growing higher and higher here? What's it like?
Well, actually, I would say it's been a really great experience. I mean, like I said, I've been here over 3 years now. I didn't know, what this position would be if I'd stay this long. It just, when you start something new, you just don't know how it's going to go. And we've had our good times and our slow times, with leads, as you all know. But working with Matt and Morgan both, it's more like a family, and it's everyone is always there to help each other out. He never is one to, like, if one of us screws up or, we misspeak on something or we don't put the right MID on the quote. He doesn't throw us under the bus. He's kind of playful about it. He stays respectful. It's just a good working environment, and it's always a learning environment because, I feel every day you need to be learning something. There's so much to learn in this business. We'll never know everything because there's just always new stuff coming out. It's like with cell phones. So he just makes it just a welcoming place to come, and family oriented, and you feel comfortable talking to him and about anything, business or personal.
I love it.
What'd you call Morgan and I a few years ago? Big boss and little boss.
Yeah.
Coined that phrase. I was like, hey, we're good with that.
Yep. So I ask all of our POS pros this question. Tell me one thing that you would tell our partners to do and one thing they shouldn't do to make them better POS salespeople. What is something they should do, and what's something they shouldn't do to help and working with the POS pros to be successful in this POS world?
Well, one thing that I'd say I've learned over the years in just a lot of different businesses that I've done. One thing is they're going to go in and they're excited and they want to share, what information they have and what they can do for the merchant. But they kind of can get, and I mean, I kind of did at the beginning too. You get caught up in, what you want to say and what you feel you can offer them, and you're kind of throwing up all over them. And the biggest advice I can give you is shut up and listen. Like, just listen to them talk. Ask the questions. If there's a little bit of a delay in, their answer and your question, sometimes just give them a little bit more, a couple more seconds to answer before you try to talk, because they might be giving you more information that is going to be vital to your next question that you have for them. So that's something I would say, to do. Something not to do is don't bash any other agents, don't bash any other point of sale systems. It's just not professional. You just don't put yourself in a good light, and it's always better to be the bigger person.
Yep, they're all good in their own way.
Man, I love that one. That was really good, Carrie. Really good. I love that. All right, Matt, I always throw it over to you. What didn't I ask? What should I have asked in this 20-minute interview with Carrie?
Well, we never got Carrie's favorite color. But that's okay. Carrie, what's your favorite color?
Well, it's always black.
I know.
I know.
I thought maybe you'd throw us off like teal or something.
No, well, like for flowers and stuff like that, like I always get purple and red. Like I like the two together. I think there's just two colors that I really like. I hate red by itself. Absolutely hate red. I like purple, so I wear purple by itself, but not red. No.
As an IU fan, Matt, and now having a son who's going to go to IU, which then means I have to, I guess, kind of like the red crimson. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Still amazing blue all the time. But yeah, that probably makes you bleed just a little bit that she hates red that much.
So. I know. That's okay.
Yeah, so Iowa Hawkeye is gold and black, so yes. Maybe that's what it's.
That's it. It's that Iowa connection. Even
we're all Caitlin Clark fans.
Hey,
yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. We're Caitlin Clark season and coming to Iowa May 4th. If you have $500, you can come in and watch a preseason game at the University of Iowa of the WNBA. Think she's popular?
Yeah. At least that's the one that's got some, good things coming in at a young age. Holy cow.
Yeah. That she's doing well, and she's bringing us a world championship here to the WNBA Fever here in Indianapolis. I'm positive about that. I'm not sure it'll come this year, but it's gonna come. But I won't be surprised if it comes this year. We're gonna be in the mix. So,
like I said to Matt yesterday, when I accidentally put the wrong email addresses when I was out of the office, I said sorry, but then I said you're welcome. So I'm going to say you're welcome also for Caitlin.
Yes, there you go.
There you go.
So,
okay.
All right.
Key takeaways. You ready?
Yep.
So guys, now you've had a chance to meet the one and only Carrie Miller. I want you to utilize Carrie's expertise. Okay. I mean, the plethora of knowledge she has and the years of experience in different industries and the years of experience here, utilize that. Okay. Carrie knows what she's talking about. She knows these systems inside and out. And she's learning just like I am when we bring on new softwares and we're looking for what's new out there to find the next Quick or Corona or Greta, whatever it might be that help you guys out. So I definitely want you to be able to utilize our team. Jump on poslead.com, submit those leads. You can request Carrie Miller if you're new, you've never worked with our department before. Please feel free to put Carrie's name down in the notes. But yeah, I just want to say a big thank you, Carrie, for joining us today.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Yep. We have learned that there is more than corn in Indiana. There's more than corn in Iowa. And if what you're doing today doesn't mean what has to be what you're doing tomorrow, but it's going to affect and make you even better at it. You can wear a different hat if you want to. Just put a different hat on. Just change the look. Do whatever you want, but continue to grow and use teams like the POS Pros. This is what I love about meeting the POS Pros. We just continue to see why it's such a special team to be able to have a sales team that's fully committed to your success and costs you zero of your money. Cost you your time, but it's going to make you money. So let's go for it. All right. On behalf of Matt Proctor, Carrie Miller,
yes.
Nate Manahan. I was Matt. I thought Matt always says something. I never know.
You stopped for a minute, so I was like, I don't know. Is this time or?
Yeah. Well, we're closing out.
Well, and tonight it's April 24th. My little niece's birthday. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese for the first time, Nate. My kids have never been Chuck E. Cheese, so excited about that on Saturday. But tonight is the NFL draft. For those of you watching this later on, this is April 24th. Let's hope the Colts make a decent selection this year. Maybe get the number one tight end in all of college football if he falls that far. So we'll see.
And on the 25th, may the Pacers take a 3-0 lead against the Bucks. All the things come back to sports.
Can you tell we're from Indiana?
Yes. Sorry, two of us are here in the Indianapolis. We're going to make sure. So go Colts, go Pacers, and go POS Pros. Matt Proctor, Carrie Miller, I'm Nate Manahan. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.